Good morning, you beautiful people. How are you today? This is session number 8. We are whizzing through my morning boosters, core and posture. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me today. Come on in, Eileen. Well done. You were there first today. Really nice to have you in this session. So wherever you are, if you're watching this live or you're going to be actually joining me on catch up, I hope you're really well. I hope you're safe and happy and ready to put a little zing a zing zing into your body. Thank you so much for your good wishes. I have been feeling a little bit under the weather over the last few days, but I'm back and I'm ready to rock. So in this session, get yourself ready. Come on in. You're going to need a chair, and just while we're taking a few minutes to set ourselves up, I'd like your chair to be quite secure and fixed either maybe against a wall or just make sure it's quite solid as opposed to a flimsy one, because we're just going to use this to actually lengthen out the back. So you just want to make sure that you feel nice and secure in that position. And other than that, it's you and me, and we are ready to rock. And this session is really looking a lot at our obliques, our waistline, as well as using our simple posture enhancing mobility exercises to really boost our posture and give us a positive transfer right through the day, so we can really feel lifted and more taut and just a bit brighter as we start our day together. So come on in. I'm going to have one more slab on my coffee, because some of you have been saying to me, "You're not drinking so much coffee. What's wrong?" I'm all good. I just normally have a little cup before we start. So let us begin, gorgeous people. So let us start with our mats within this position here in our chair, and start fairly close to your chair, and then you can adjust your position. Your feet need to be hip distance apart. Maybe just spread your toes a bit. Nice to kind of weight those up a bit. And slight bend of the knee, and just rest your fingertips on the side of your chair. And you're going to just start to step back. So we create a shape, and the shape that I'd like us to create is a rectangle. So think of the four sides of your rectangle being obviously the floor and then the side of the chair, and then the other two sides are going to be from your fingertips all the way down your spine. So just start to lengthen into that kind of nice feeling of easing back and trying to have the top part of your body from your fingertips to your tailbone parallel to the floor. So this is our first long, gorgeous, easy stretch for our back. And then our legs need to be perpendicular to the floor. So you might just want to explore and see how that feels for you today. So take a little while and just enjoy your setup position here. And as you find your setup position, maybe just ease into your hips a little bit, add a little bit of movement. But all the time you're trying to be respectful, obviously to your body, but also to the shape that we're trying to create. So the fingertips are relaxed on the chair. We are long through the spine, and specifically think about length through the tailbone and lifting that up and away. So your abdominals are drawn a little bit, but specifically I'd like length between the pubic bone and the sternum. And this is just a really nice way to lengthen out the spine. And you may also be feeling a little bit of opening up here in the back of the thighs, going to the hamstrings, but importantly the attachments which occur all around the pelvic area. That can get really tight. So just add a little bit of movement there to see how that feels. And then once you have come to a position that you feel comfortable with, just take a deep breath in. And then what I'd like you to do is just come up onto your toes a little bit. I'm going to ask you to spin your ankles one way. And then you're going to ease back a little bit again. So remember, you're lifting up through the tailbone. And the shape now that you're creating is almost a bit like a trapezium, if you think of that. So before we were a rectangle, now we've got a bit more of a diagonal stretch. So you're reaching through from one side of the body to the other, still lifting up through the tailbone because that gets that nice lift, but just a bit of a greater stretch on one side of the body. Take a deep breath in here. Good job. And then come up and then come back through that central position. Just reassess. So you're always being mindful that you have quality of your movement in and out of positions. And then from here, come up onto your toes and then pivot the ankles the other way. So just lengthen through that tailbone and think about this more of a diagonal stretch. So one side will be longer than the other. Maybe you feel a little bit more on the side of the leg as well, lifting up that tailbone. And again, just enjoy this, because this can be a really lovely, delicious, long opening back stretch. Great at any time of day. And so important, especially if we spend lots of time in a seated position. Take a gorgeous deep breath in, and then spin those heels back and come back to that center position. And when you feel comfortable, what I'd like us to do, make sure we're in that symmetrical position as we come out of it. Just bend the knees a little bit, lovely people, and then walk the feet in. Just do a couple of positions so that you feel much more sort of in control of your body. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is take the hands off your chair and generously bend the knees, and you're just going to come into that forward hanging bend. So this is our first one of today. And you may feel you've already got a little bit more openness at the back of your glutes and into your hamstrings here. So just relax the head, nod yes and no and yes. Hands are nice and secure on the floor. Generous bend the knees if that feels right for you. And we're going to step back so we come into a box position. So just big step back, pressing those hands in the floor, generously, respectfully lower ourselves down, and we're here on all fours. Now, from this position, what I'd like us to do is just check that you've got your shoulders over your wrists, and obviously your knees are under your hips, so the setup is important. And you're going to take one leg out to the side, so we can do this nice clock-based stretch. So if you imagine here, your head is looking down the middle of the clock. This is either going to be 3 o'clock, and this would be obviously 9 o'clock at the other side. And then from here, lifting that same feeling of the tailbone, you're just going to ease back, stretch the fingertips out, and then come forward a little bit. So you just get this nice movement of opening up the hips. And if this is feeling quite open for you today, you can progress a little bit by actually taking the supporting knee back a little bit, so you open up that angle. So it just gives you a little bit more leverage, if you want to think of it that way, of just opening up that hip. And it's just a nice way just to get a bit of rhythm into your body. Keep the breath nice and smooth, and really feel how we can open up maybe a little bit of kind of the inner thigh, maybe a little bit of the hamstrings, and also importantly those deep back postural muscles. And when you feel comfortable, lovely people, come to a point of stillness. Bring the hand to the middle of your mat, so your head is over that. And we're going to just really trace this hand up your body, and then really extend it right up to the fingertips. Now, depending on how you feel on your neck, okay, if you're a little bit sensitive in your head, keep your eye line down, lead with your torso, stretch your arms up. And if you feel comfortable, then you can turn your eye line up towards your hands. You've got this lovely big opening, upper back mobility stretch. Wriggle those fingers, see how that feels today. Really punctuate the air with those fingers so you feel the stretch, and you're strong with the hand pressing into the ground. Gather that energy. Take a big deep breath in, and then you're going to bring that arm down. I'm going to ask you to do some big circles with this loose arm. So big reach forward, stretch, 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 and then paint the sky all the way back. Okay, let's do 2 more of those. So stretch the arm forward, big circles, so a little bit of mobility through the middle back as well. Last one, opening up the shoulders, feeling how long and taut the body can be. Bring that hand in, and then from here, I'm just going to tuck the tailbone under, and I'm going to come up so that my arms are over my head, and then I'm going to take them to the side. So I'm just going to change my position so you can see what I'm doing. So from this position here, I've got my toes down, my arms are out to the side, and we're just going to do some side stretches. So just reach over nice and gently one side, lifting up. Keep the distance here between the ribs and the hips with your global greeting, and then reach over to the other side. So lots of lift, lots of length through the body. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep pressing those toes in. Good job. Now come back to the first side bend, and I'd like you to energize this hand down. Imagine it's coming to the corner of your room, and this one's coming to the top. And then from here, keeping the distance between the earlobes and shoulders, you're at the point of maximum stretch, but it should still feel comfortable and contained. Just add some little pulses there. So you're just reaching through a little bit more, working into your waistline, working into the length of your waist. Just give me 4 more and 3 more, lifting up 2 and 1. Now hold this one here, stretching the top arm, come all the way around, bring the arms down the side and move to the other side. So stretch up, reach over, get that point of maximum stretch, energize the leg, feel how the whole body's connected, and this hand is strong as well, and we're going to start with those 8 pulses. So just reach and reach and reach, nice and smooth, keep the distance between the earlobes and shoulders, a couple more here, reach, good job, and then come from this position. My hands are going to come down in front of me, so I've got my tailbone tucked under a little bit. I'm going to bring this leg into me so I'm nice and contained, tucking my toes under, and I'm just going to bring my feet forward, and I'm going to roll up nice and gently, so I'm here in a hanging bend, and slowly in your own time come up nice and gently to a standing position. Okay, how are we doing? All right, sort yourselves out, take your arms out nice and wide, and we're going to come to our first little abdominal J sequence. All right, so remember our feet need to be at the hip distance apart here, level with the belly button, breath across the shoulders, And here we go. So we're going to a little bit of the scoop down. As we come down, we draw into that lower pubic bone and that deep transverse muscle. Keep the hand there if you want for this first one, just to get that set up right. Distance between the pubic bone and the sternum. Relax the shoulders down. We're neatening into that waistline and we're finishing it with that global greeting. So this is the abdominal J. If you're not familiar with it, I'll put a link again so that you can catch up with how to on my little drill series. Keeping the length in the spine, lifting up here for 10, 9, 8. Feel your flesh come away from your clothes. Feel neat and tidy. We're here for 7 and 6 and 5, 4 and 3. Breadth across the shoulders, 2 and 1. And release down. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. So bend the knees down, scoop in. Really start to initiate the contraction down here. Even if you feel nothing that's happening, visualize that length. Lift up, lift up. Relax the shoulders down. Neatness into that waistline. We're here with that global greeting. And with breath that's coming into the body nice and smooth. We're here for 10, 9, 8. Keep those babies released here. Lengthen the spine. Here for 10 more, 9 more, 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Relax down. Just walk through the feet. We'll just do one more. Really feel how you build that knowledge of what's happening in your abdominal area. Here we go. So slight bend. Get that area starting to recruit those down low. And we've got that scoop all the way up the sternum. The shoulder down. Taper into that waistline. Here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release down. Good job. Well done. Now come back over here to our chair. We're going to repeat that whole sequence on the other side. So take the arms up nice and tall. Feel the length. Knees are bent. And just come forward so you feel that you've got a nice steady position. Position your legs so you come back to that perpendicular position. So visualize this shape. The shape we're trying to create is a rectangle. Bottom of the rectangle is the floor. One side is the chair, and the other side is from your ankles all the way up to hips. So really think about lifting up, trying to get as much perpendicular action from the ankle joints so we're strong here, getting the space through the knees, lifting up through the tailbone. Feel how maybe there's a bit of space. Be curious. Okay, nothing too ow, but a little bit of ooh is good at the back of the hip area here. And you can add a little bit of movement, just see how this feels. And it's so good to revisit these stretches because we build our knowledge of how our body feels today, and we can change from day to day, which is absolutely fine. But also it's really good to sort of see how the body gives and it allows us and it respects the investment we make to it. So just feel that length. Take a big deep breath in. And then when you're ready, draw up onto your toes, spin the ankles one way so you get this nice stretch. Good job. And then come back, go the other way. So we get this nice length through the body again. Feel if that feels a little bit better. Remember, we're lifting up to the back legs as well. Come back to that center, bend those knees, walk the feet in, and then gently bring the hands down to the floor. And in your own time, you're going to step back into that box position. Come down nice and level. See how that feels. Wiggle yourself side to side. And when you feel comfortable, okay, you're going to take your leg out to the side. So I'll just change my direction so you can see what I'm doing. So the leg is now on that clock face. So we're doing the other leg. Make sure we're nice and level, shoulders over our wrists. And we're just going to start to introduce that little bit of coming backwards and forwards, opening up that hip area. And again, revisiting it. See how it feels this time around. We've already opened up the body a little bit. So if it feels good, just let the corners of your mouth rise up. And just keep the breath nice and smooth. See how we feel today, lifting up that tailbone. Well done, lovely people. And then when you feel comfortable, come to a stationary position. Come back to that symmetrical setup position. Move your hands slightly so it's directly under your nose. You'll feel a bit more comfortable there with the tripod setup. And then just trace this hand up your body and then press this one into the ground and really energize through the fingertips. So you've got this gorgeous, delicious length through the body, opening up the mobility of your middle back, a little bit of your waistline, energize into your fingertips, wake them up, give them a little shake, pressing these toes into the floor as well. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good job. And then from here, we're going to bring this arm down, big reaches, so big reach round, one, and come back. And if you want to follow the hand follow your eye line with your hand, that can help as well. But just opening up a little bit of movement, really delicious for the shoulders. Bring that back. And then from here, tuck your tailbone under, just activate those abdominals, and coming up nice and tall to your extended position. So I'll just turn sideways so you can see, okay, how we're doing. So press those toes down, get ready for your stretches. Reach over one side, keep the length, and the other side. pulling up nice and tall through the body. So we're training those internal obliques to have length and tautness here rather than this relaxation. Now, from this point, hold the point of maximum stretch, reach up, feel open, feel long, and then energize your top hand. And we're going to pulse for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Good. 4 more and 3. Keep going. Reach 2 and 1. Come all the way around, keeping the length in your body as you do that. Reach the other side. Energize this foot, energize the hand, and go 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Good. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Stretch in here. Come back down. Take your hands, place them in front of you. Tuck your tailbone under. This leg comes in, and then in your own time, just going to come up nice and gently so that you feel comfortable. Now, as you come up into the hanging bend, feel how maybe there's a bit more space, a bit more openness in the back of the leg. Take these small wins, this whole positive connection with the body, and take your time to stretch up nice and tall. Take hold of your elbows, that's the word I'm looking for, and just reach over one side, just lifting up, energize through the elbows, and feel how your body feels more open. Okay, maybe a little bit more lift and space, positivity, good that we hopefully take forward with our day. And then come back to finishing with 2 abdominal J's and then some ab pulls to finish. So we just really focus on this whole length through the body, okay? Because this feeling of lift can take us through our posture and the way that we sit in our desk and we talk to people, so we're much more open, okay? So join me here with your hands, knees a bit bent. Here we go, bend the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. So the knees have no bearing really on what the abdominals do, but it just helps us scoop. So it's a scoop here, up, up, up. Relax the shoulders down, taper into the waistline, and finish here with your global greeting. Now your bum needs to be relaxed. There's space in your spine. Your pelvic floor may feel that it's coming in a little bit, but actually it's much more of all the abdominal muscles around that. So we're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. How are we doing? Really focus on that. Focus of quality of moment for 10 and 9 and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Probably back about 15, relax down. Walk to the feet, we'll do one more. Are you ready? Let's go. So scoop, get that feeling right down here. Leave your hands here, lovely people. If you want to get that feeling pulling away from your hand, you're here to your sternum. Relax your shoulders down. Taper into that waistline. Here for our 10, here for our 9, here for our 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. And ease off gently. Put your hand right down by your pubic bone. Other finger comes here to your belly button. Are you ready? We'll just finish off with 5 ab pulls. So we're working on the length between the pubic bone and the sternum. So we're going to pull away from the hand. Try to raise where our belly button is by about a millimeter. Pull up, 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 up. Relax down. Okay, let's do that again. So we pull away from the hand. Lift up through the belly button. Just see it feels like it's a very subtle exercise, but it can be super effective. Lift up, 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 up. Focus, focus, focus. And relax down. Even if it's just a millimeter, you're giving more space and you're stimulating these vital, important areas. Okay, ready, go. Pull in, lift up. Feel how your chest becomes a bit more lifted, more length in your spine. Keep going, keep going, keep going. A little bit more millimeters. Relax down. You've got 2 more gorgeous people. Here we go. Ready? We can do this. And pull in and lift up. Keep that length, breadth across the shoulders. So we're here for 10 and 9 and 8. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release down. And this is your last one. Are you ready, gorgeous people? Here we go. So we pull in from the hand, lift up through the distance between the pubic bone and the sternum. Get that lift up. Sorry, pubic bone to the belly button. 4. Let's do 3 more and 2 more and 1 more. And release down. Good job. Keep this length, keep this feeling of lightness in the body. Take the arms out to the side. I invite you to send our love around the world. Thank you so much for living today, lovely people. Give yourselves a big hug. Hold on to both shoulder blades and really give yourself a really nice squish, squish, squish. And let the chin come down to get a bit of a stretch at the back of the body. But at the same time, just allow the corners of your mouth to rise up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel more open, more lifted. Do please leave me a comment below. Let me know how you're getting on, how you feel. And then from here, just extend the body up nice and tall. And we're going to send our love around the world. Are you ready? 3 and 2 and 1. It's gone. Thank you, gorgeous people. This was session number 8 on my Core and Posture Morning Boosters. I'm going to leave a couple of links, so have a little look for the abjays, and also to adapt you to some other areas to really help you get more out of the sessions that I create and teach here, obviously on our YouTube channel, which totally complements my walk active system, which has been scientifically proven to improve how you look and feel in the form all through walking. So it is, if you're watching this in real time, Walk Active Wednesday, so go out. This session specifically will help open up the hips and will help with your stride. So go out and enjoy your body, because being outside in the fresh air, lifting your spirits, is just a really great way to have positive connection with your body. So take good care. I'll be back live on Friday for session number 9 in this series. In the meantime, take good care of people. Have a go, all this.